Happy Thursday! It's 7 o'clock. You're on Tamara's Paper Trail. I am Tamara. Give me a hidey-ho. Let me know who is hanging out with me tonight. I finished my card. I have a card. I have a project. What's going on here? What's going on here? I got my hair cut, but I didn't have time to do it today. I was busy. I had creating to do. I have an empire to run, you know. Give me a hidey-ho. Let me know who's... Oh, we're not going to cough tonight. No, we're not. Maybe we are. Maybe we... Apparently we will. No, mind over matter. I am feeling so much better. I still get a little sleepy, but I push through. Craig, however... Oh, thank you, Marcella. Craig, however, is he's a grumpy bear today because yesterday he felt much better. He felt about 80-85%. Today he feels 40%. This thing just keeps coming back. Hello, we're back, and coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing. So I figured this is going to happen for another couple weeks for me. Oh, I didn't take my inhaler yet. Note to self. However, I generally sleep through the night, so that's good. Hi. A little better, Cheryl. Until you go live, in which case that's when you have to start coughing. Hey, Kathy, Lillian, hello. It's been forever since I've done a Thursday, right? A Check It Out Tuesday, Thursday edition, which is what we're on tonight. What did I don't even know if I said what we were doing. Yeah, it's Check It Out Tuesday, Thursday edition. Hey, Jen. Hi, Pat. Yeah, hi, Joy. Hello. Hot Winnipeg. Barbara. Yeah. A little cracking hot here too. I think it was 30 degrees. I was outside, but I go from air-conditioned car to air-conditioned place to air-conditioned car to air-conditioned house. So I've been upstairs saying burr a lot. The balance just isn't right. You know, it's really hard to get these homes balanced. So down here, I'm wearing 1 or 2 or 3 sweaters, and then upstairs you melt, unless you're sitting in the chair, which is right beside the vent, in which case you freeze. So you can't win. Look, it's Penny. Hello. Long time no see. How are you guys? Sharon and Mary and Jennifer. Princess is in the house on time and everything. Heading to Winnipeg. That's what you're saying. I'm thinking, am I still having a team social? I don't know. Is anybody going to come other than me? Kind of forgot. I got my team social, but I've been out of commission for a month. So I'm like, wait a minute. Don't I have something coming up? Sure enough, team social, but everybody's busy. What's in Winnipeg, Mary? I hope it's like a wedding or a party or something fun. Anyway, what have I been doing? I've been starting the process, you guys, of garage sale. I want to keep all of the sets. I want to keep all of my sets. I love them. I cannot keep them all. I must part with them. But the Christmas ones, I can't do it. Well, I think I came up with 5 or 6 Christmassy winter ones, but the rest, I love the Christmas ones. Getting rid of some vintage animal nature sets. So I've started pulling, and then you know what happens. You start going through, you're like, no, I can't, and I bring it back in, and anyway, it's chaos. That's what I started to do today. Oh, that's nice, Mary. Yeah, so in case you missed it, I've put out a couple of posts, and I'll be doing a few more because, of course, the more eyes, the better. So I'm having two garage sales in June. The first one is going to be next Tuesday, June 13th. She said confidently at 6 o'clock right here on Tamara's Paper Trail. This is my virtual BOGO. Now, if you've tuned in before, you know how these work. The BOGO, buy one, get one. So if you wanted this stamp set and it has a $30 price tag on it, you don't pay me $30. You buy something from my online store for $30, and then you get this $30 set for free. I mail it to you. I spend the first $10 in shipping is on me to mail you my retired stuff, and that's because you have to pay the shipping on the new stuff. So I'm like, well, fair's fair. I'll pay the shipping up to the first $10 to get you that stuff. And so that's the virtual BOGO. So anybody in Canada can take part in that. And then I'm doing an in-person one in Morinville with a bunch of my gals on the 24th in Morinville. And that's going to be cash and e-transfer. So that's not a BOGO. Yeah, there's going to be tons of stuff there. Tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. I think there's 6 of us. Most of us have 3 tables. Vanessa, she's got 6 tables. She has a lot of the old wood sets. So yeah, bring your reusable bags and your cash and or your e-transfer. and take my stuff away. It'll be good. It'll be good, she said. Sure. What else is going on? I've got, I posted this once or twice, but let's do it again. This is my class for the 23rd of June. This is my class for the 16th of June. So that was first, the layering leaves class. I can pop these in the mail. Today is what, Thursday? I should be able to get to you in Canada. The pieces, and if you have the layering leaf stamp set, great. If not, I mean, you can always access the replay. But this class is on the 16th. There are links all over my newsletter and all over places that you can register for that. And then this is the textured floral class. I've prepped them and I've mailed the pieces to those who registered already. This is a, I want to say $90 local, $100 long distance set that includes the dies and the stamp set and all the pieces. That's on the 23rd of June. Excuse me. What else? The other things that are going on is right now, the designer paper is on sale. Select pieces or select patterns, 13 select designer series paper packages are on sale for all of June, 15% off. The best bang for your buck is to add those papers into a starter kit, because the starter kit promotion is on for all of June, where you get $206 worth of product. You pay $135 flat unless you're in BC, Saskatchewan, or Manitoba. You have to pay PST because the government said so. Everybody else, we just pay $135 flat. If you added the designer paper into that kit, ooh, you're stacking the savings, and you would become a trailblazer if you sign up under me. Excuse me. Yeah, trailblazers. The last couple of years have been in the top in Canada as a team for promotions and or qualifications. So yay, trailblazers. We're a great gaggle. We're a great gaggle to be part of. Excuse me. Speaking of gaggles, that's all I want to say about that. Because let's get to some stamping and things and things. Okay, let's in a minute. I struggled. I came down here at 2:30. I guess it was, yeah, 2:30. And I have so many sets. Like, this happens to me every time there's a new catalog. I have so many new toys to play with. I can't land on one. Like, if I just had one new stamp set, it'd be okay. This is the one we're playing with. But I've got all the new toys and all the new papers and all the new dies and all the things I want to do, all the techniques and all the samples. And my brain doesn't calm down. So it took me until 15 minutes ago to finish my card. I was all over the board. I wanted to play with a few things, and I wanted to do a couple techniques. Here's where I landed. This is not what I thought was going to happen. Here's where we landed. Excuse me. The Silly Goose stamp set. This is not one of my favorite sets. I don't know how I landed on this one. But it's good. I do try to challenge myself to make a card with every stamp set that I purchase. At least one. For the love of God, Tamara, you're spending money on this stuff. This was $34. How about we use it? So here's the card I came up with. Ta-da! Okay. Thanks. Ready for it? Sending a big honkin' thanks. Cheryl, what color is the one with the die cut on matte layer? This one? Is that the one you mean? That is Flirty Flamingo. What color is the one with the die cut on the matte layer? I think that's the one you mean. Yes, that is Flirty Flamingo. There you go. Anyway, I digress. Hello, Heather. Shout out to Heather. Lots of hugs to Heather. Heather's dog crossed the Rainbow Bridge, and it's very sad. It makes me very sad. Big hug to Heather, everybody. Okay. All right, back to our big honkin' thanks card. You want to learn how to make this? This is one of the very first, I call it a fancy fold. It's a moving card with moving pieces. And back like 17 years ago, this was the first one I ever learned how to do. And it was a baby card. And there was like a baby rattle. And when you opened it, it said, "Welcome, baby," or something like that. Oh, thank you, Pat. Thank you very much, because it took me like 3 hours to make. Because I knew what I wanted to do. And then I'm like, how do I decorate a goose card? I don't know. Anyway. Let's see if I can remember how I did this. I kind of bumbled along, as I tend to do. So why not do it live in front of the people and see if we can make it happen again? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, look at this guy. He's got no body. Look at this guy. He's just a head. Anyway, let's do this. Okay. there are instructions all over the internet. And I thought, did I do this recently? I don't think so. I remember watching videos of it, and then I don't think I managed to come up with a layout I liked. So I think I aborted it. But I'm like, we need to do this. Oh, I know Nancy. And Nancy, shout out to Nancy, who just, okay, don't mean to be a downer, but the pets are frolicking and romping over the Rainbow Bridge today. And so big hug to Nancy as well. Yeah. Nancy, did you make it by to pick up your kit? Okay, I didn't even look. Anyway, yeah, let's make this because it's fun. Let's do it. There are instructions all over the place. This is called a peekaboo card. I think that's what it's called. Peekaboo. Sure, let's call it a peekaboo card. I think that's what I searched up. And I have samples somewhere. Like, I've done this a few times. It's just a matter of designing it in a way that you like. So what makes a good stamp set for this would be any of our animal ones that could fit in here. So think the, excuse me, you could do like the Easter bunny, and then when you open it, you could say Happy Easter. Or, oh my goodness, the Little Dreamers. I might actually do this. I'm doing a Little Dreamers class, and I think that would be really cute too with the elephant or one of the animals. When you open it, it would say Little Baby Big Love, and maybe have the elephant on it or something like that. So anything like this. Excellent. Good job, Nancy. Yeah, just things that are going to have, that are going to fit a circle nicely so that when you open it, it's going to flip the same. The monkeys. Did I say the monkeys? Yeah, Myrna. I meant to. It was in my head, but I don't think it did. And hello, Myrna. So the instructions for this. So there are three main pieces: front, middle, and back. So for the, like, if you could even read my chicken scratch, I don't think you can. That says front. That says 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. That says score, believe it or not, 2 3/4. The back, 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. You score at 5 1/2. And the inside is 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, and you score it at 4 1/4. So I don't know if you can read that, but that's what we're going to try to cut. So let's do this. We're going to open this guy. Oh, goodness. We need 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now this piece I know is already 4 1/4 for my last card. 4 1/4, yes. And I'm going to cut this at 8 1/4. And we're going to score it at 2 3/4. Hi, Kathy. Score that at 2 3/4. Thanks for popping in. And thank you for commenting. 2 3/4. Every comment helps my algorithms. I think my video on Monday, I think it said it reached like 4.3 thousand people. And I'm like, I don't think so. Usually, like after a week, it'll reach like 1.2 thousand people, like 4.3 thousand people. What the heck was going on there? So I don't know, but if y'all want to comment, that'll be awesome. See if we can duplicate that result. I don't know. All right, we're going to score this at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So this is our front piece. So 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 2 3/4. That's our front. Our back needs to be 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to do this at 4 1/4 again. 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. Oh, sorry. Stop that. Oh, my, what's going on here now? Hang on. That didn't go well at all. All right, 5 3/4. 5 3/4. And then this one we're going to score at 5 1/2, which is just a little bit. Get over there. 5 1/2. So just this little teeny tiny titch on the side. Hi, Susan. Hello. Heather. Thank you. You're good for my ego. Okay, and then we need an inside piece, which is 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we go 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And we're going to score that at 4 1/4. I don't know. I think it must have been a glitch in the system somehow, because I was just saying the last week with me really not commenting or posting very much in the last month, man, my numbers have gone way down in the Facebook land. So it's been very interesting to see that. But anyway, okay. So the back, this is the inside, 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, scored at 4 1/4. The back, which was 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And the front, which is 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 2 3/4. So this is our front. So there's our score line. Fold that like that. This is our back. We're just going to fold on this little line here. And I'm going to go slow so that you can kind of figure out what the heck I'm doing. And me too, because, I made this an hour ago, It's not like it's ingrained in my brain very deeply. I'll forget it by tomorrow. Okay, so let's just put these little score lines everywhere. All right, so there we have it. So our front is this big extra long piece. Then our middle is going to be this one. And then our back is going to be this one. So it's a weird looking contraption. What did I do with my other one that was a fail? Anyway, well, this is how we're going to look at it this way. Just so you can kind of see what's going on. This piece right here, you can see that's the sending you a big honk and thanks. When it's closed, you don't see it. So let's close it. But when you open it, watch what's happening. Watch this piece. When you open it, it slides and it goes into that window. So when it's closed, it's closed, it's the goose. And as it opens, you can see it's coming in. So closed, we have our front and our back, this piece. And then we just have this little chunk in the middle. That's what I'm going to show you how to do. Okay? All right. So here's our front. Now, first thing I want to do, I'm going to lay down some designer paper. And I'm bringing in this piece just because it's a generic piece. Don't love it from the Les Shop designer paper because I don't love this pattern. But this one I like. It's fine. It's good. So I'm just going to make this 4 by 5 1/4. 4. I don't know. Let's do it this way. I want to do it this way. 4. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. That's going to go on the front here. Now, I want to punch a hole. So here's my front. This is this piece. This is exactly what this piece, forget all this other stuff that's flopping in the wind here. This is this. This is where we're at so far. Okay. It's very cool, Nikki, once you wrap your head around it. So this is this. So I need to punch a hole, right? Now, for this one, I grabbed my new 2 3/8 inch punch, which is part of the bundle that comes in the Circle Sayings bundle, which is my July 14th class. If you haven't registered for that, you may do so. Please do so. So I'm going to just hold these two pieces. I'm going to put this exactly where I want it, but I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to hang on to it. And I'm going to punch all of this together. Now, our punches are not designed to punch 2 pieces of cardstock together, but it can handle a piece of cardstock and a piece of designer paper if it's not too thick. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn my punch over, and I'm just going to push it in as far as I can and just down from the top a bit. Doesn't really matter where. And punch. So there we go. That way. This is exactly where it needs to be. So now I can go in and I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue. Oh, Penny, my mojo too. I'm not kidding. Today I was like, oh, it's not even so much my mojo. I just haven't had the motivation. And I think it's because I've been away for a month, pretty darn relaxed, which can be good for crafting and creating. But I just haven't had it. Like, I don't want to go downstairs. And I guess because I'm overwhelmed with, I got to do the garage sale and all the things. It's been overwhelming, really overwhelming. But alas, when I start seeing my sales, my sales for the month are at $168. They ain't going to cut it. I got to get to work. All right. So there's our front. So far, here's where we're going. Here's what we're hoping for here for our front. So I wanted to create a frame to go with this, and for that I've used, I guess, our layering circle dies. Those have retired, haven't they? Layering circles. I think I couldn't find them. So this is from that, and it's retired. So I'm sorry, but I'm using it just to create a little frame. So to do that, I'm grabbing my 2 3/8 punch again. And I'm going to use a piece of the Calypso Coral paper. and I'm going to punch a hole, because then I want to go in with my die and I want to punch out this frame. So I'm going to go over here to my Big Shot, or Stampin' Cut machine as we call it. Hasn't been a Big Shot for a few years now, but old habits die hard. And I'm going to need 2 of these ultimately, but that's okay. We'll do one right now. Okay. So there we have a nice little frame. That's going to hide kind of the nastiness that's a punched out circle. Hi, Annie. Waterloo, Indiana. Welcome to the show. We love when our American friends say hello and pop in. Hello. How is Indiana? Our country is on fire right now, Annie. We've got forest fires everywhere. Now, I don't know how Indiana is for forests, but here in Canada, most of the country is on fire. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's not good up here in Canada. Dad, thank you for asking, Mary. He's still in hospital. But he's doing all right. He's getting stronger. So Mom was up there today. She's been really sick, and I've been sick, and I'm not going near. That's, I'm thinking, where I got all this nonsense was I got it the day after I visited him in the hospital a month ago tomorrow. Actually, a month ago today is when I went to visit him, and then I got sick. So I'm not going anywhere near there. He's in isolation again, and I'm not putting on those PPEs in 30-degree weather. It ain't. Sorry, Dad. I love you dearly. Not happening. We figure he's going to come home on Monday. He's getting a lot stronger. So the issue with Dad is that he's very weak. He can't stand up. So they've been working with him to get him stronger, and he's been walking fairly well. And so hopefully he's going to be coming home on Monday. I was thinking he was going to come home on Saturday, but they said, well, let's just keep him for a few more days and get him up and running, which is good because Mom's been really sick and she really can't care for him properly. So, you know what I probably shouldn't have done is, well, anyway, okay. There's our front, but thank you for asking. That's my update on my dad. So there's our front kind of ready to roll. Now, this is the inside piece. Okay, this one that's folded in half. It's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Ultimately, it is going to get glued here. It's going to butt up to this side, and it's going to get glued down. But before we do that, we need to have a hole. We have to have another hole, because look what's going to go on here, right? We need, on this piece, we need there to be a hole. So let's create a hole. Actually, we need 2 holes. We need a hole. Well, I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to grab my trusty pencil, and I'm going to line this up. So this is the inside piece. I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to grab my pencil, and I'm going to trace the hole because I need to punch a hole. Now, if you're using dies, you can do this with dies, and you can do the two sections at once. But here's what I want to do. I'm going to push this in again as far as it should be the same if I just pushed it in as far as it would go. But anyway, so I'm looking for those pencil lines, and I'm going to punch, and hopefully it's going to line up. Okay, then we need one more. So like I said before, what's going to happen is this piece is going to be glued to the front. So that's this hole. And then we need another hole to peek through to the piece that's going to show at the back. So we need one more. We need one more hole. So again, I'm just going to trace this. And so if you were using dies, you could certainly, do the dies all through at once. So you can go like this and punch your hole. You could also go like this and go do it this way. But sometimes you get a little bit of an edge. Oh, we'll try it. Yeah, it caught a little bit of an edge. So it's not ideal, but anyway. It's not good. So there we've got our holes. We got one hole here, and we got these 2 holes here. Now, if yours are like mine and it's not nice and crisp, you can see it's frayed, get yourself a nail file, or if you have, I've got these little filing blocks. There's lots of different sandpaper. We used to sell sanding blocks that look like this. You could use a nail file, all kinds of different things you can have in your craft room just to get rid of these little edges so it's a little bit nicer. And actually, this one's going to be covered it's going to be covered, so I'm not going to worry too much about that one. And this one's going to be glued, so I'm not going to worry too much about them. Get it a little bit smoother, but don't spend a ton of time on it. So here's how it's going to do the first little section here. We're going to glue the front and the inside piece. Okay, so I'm going to grab my glue, liquid glue. This is probably not the best way to do things. Like, you should probably do all the stamping first, but that's not the way I roll now, is it? Okay, so to glue it, I'm going to line it up, line up those holes. You want these edges to be flush. You don't want any overhang anywhere on your card if you can help it. I did end up taking my paper snips and trimming off any edges. You know, there was a little bit of an overhang, so I just trimmed it. Okay. Your creativity ran away, Jennifer. That's sad. Okay, so we've got this. The front is glued to the top front of the inside piece. Okay, so now this is flopping around. Now, what we want to do here is we want to attach the back to this piece. And again, I'm going to use glue, liquid glue. So this little fold here. And I'm going to line it up. Glue is best in this case because you really want it to be, you want to be able to do what I'm doing, which is just kind of manhandling it, make sure there's no overhang where there shouldn't be. Okay. Guys are just all staring at your screen, right? You're just enthralled, sitting on the edge of your desk. Because there's no commenting going on here. Hey, Luann, how's Wisconsin doing? Luann from Wisconsin represents. All right, so here we've got our whole mechanism is put together. This part, yes, flaps in the wind. So it looks like a great big Z, or Z for my American friends. All right, so when it's closed, it's going to look like this. When it's open, excuse me, as you open it, you can see this piece is sliding. Maybe you can't see that. All right. Luann, this is what we're making. Okay, so now we're doing the Stampin', and this is very dangerous the way I've done it, but when it comes to the stamping now, I'm going to open everything and keep it flat so that there's not bumps and lumps everywhere. Now, for this part, I wanted the thanks. I just wanted to keep it simple with the thanks. So I grabbed my Biggest Wish set. So this is the silly goose, and we're using this goose on the inside, and I'm using this guy and sending a big honkin'. And then I've used the thanks and the thanks from the Biggest Wish set. So you can see what I've done here. I'm grabbing my basic gray. Well, you got to concentrate a little bit. I don't know. I like to have cards that you guys will maybe try. And given my my squirrelness, I think if I can do this, you guys can do this. It's not one where you're measuring. And no, there's the three pieces. You put them together. You stamp some stuff. You're done. I like that, and it's not too complicated. So, all right, I'm just going to go in with a thanks. This is really juicy ink pad, so I'm going to do a thanks up here. I'm going to do a thanks down here. Now this thanks, you can see it didn't stamp very well. I didn't use my foam pad. Trina, if you're in the house. Trina questions. Sometimes I use my foam pad, sometimes I don't. This is a case where I think I should. Because it's a solid image. And, ooh, puffed wheat cake. Cool. So because it's, going to be splotchy, I just find I tend to get a better image when I use my foam pad on this. So this one, I just went into thanks right here. And I'm going to hold it in place until it soaks in. It would, Kathy, yes. There, that one worked out better. All right, so here's what we've got so far. Here's our card. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Now, when it's closed, we want our little goose, or big goose. So I'm going to stamp it closed through this hole. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can trace a circle, open it up, and then stamp it. So if I trace the circle, then I would know where I had to stamp it. But this one's pretty, I mean, it's not hard, and he fits perfectly. So I'm going to ink him up in my basic gray. And I'm going to stamp him right through the hole, and he fits just perfectly. So now this one I'm not using the foam pad. I don't know why. I don't need it. It's line art, and it gives me a nice good image anyway. So there's the thanks. Nailed it. Okay. Then we need to do the piece, so that's this. Then we need to do the piece, send in a big honkin' thanks. So that's going to be on this little piece. So if it was tucked in here, when the card is open, I'm now going to stamp in here. So again, I could just trace a circle and do it, but I like to live on the edge. So for this one, I went in with my Calypso Coral. And I did the thanks from the Biggest Wish. I can do a thanks in the middle of that. Thanks. Then I took this one, sending a big honkin', but I'm not going to ink up the word thanks. Now, this is not my first rodeo. I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to ink around the word thanks. You could use your markers to color directly on the stamp, but I find the ink doesn't transfer as well. So again, not my first rodeo. You can see sending a big honkin'. You can see that I've inked everything but the word thanks. If you're not comfortable with doing that, so let me just show you. There's a piece of scrap there. Let's just, so if I were to stamp that, sending a big honkin', and then my word thanks. If you're not comfortable with that, you could take a piece of washi tape or a piece of masking tape, like Scotch tape. I don't know where either of those items are. I don't have any washi tape handy. Why would I? Okay, let's pretend this is washi tape. This is a piece of tape. If I just covered up the word thanks, it doesn't want to stick. It's not that sticky. Okay, so if I cover up the word thanks, if I ink up the whole thing, then I peel off the tape or whatever. Oh, it's now on the floor. Okay, I just want to make sure that that's not. Don't think there's anywhere. Okay, well, we'll wing it. So you can see, you can do it that way if you're not comfortable doing it the way I did it. So sending a big honkin', stamp that down. Thanks. And I thought it was kind of fun to see his little head peeking through. So I'm going to do that again. And actually for that, what I had to do was I grabbed my pencil, which is now lost. Shrapnel, here we go. So this way, I just want to know where his head is going to be. So if I open that up. But this time I think I better do more of his body, because on mine, all you see is this head. All you see is his head. So let's maybe try to do a little bit more. And I'll just put a scrap piece of paper over here. But I just want his head kind of peeking around this corner. I'll just go like that. Just so a little bit more is going to show. Okay, and then I'm going to erase it. Hi, Luann. I'm much better, thank you. I am still coughing, as you can hear, but I'm like 85%. Aside from the coughing, I feel fine. I get a little tired. I'm going to bed at 9:30. I would love to keep napping in the day. I really think I'm burnt out too, like from years of going too hard. So I know I should be napping, but I'm playing catch up with everything, right? And Just smudge that a little bit. You know, Alicia's got, tomorrow's her last day of school. Then she's just got a couple exams. Talk about a smarty pants. She's finishing biology with a 99% average. What? How was that even a thing? And it's so ironic. Was it last year? Must have been last year. She dropped out of chemistry. She wrote her first quiz, and she knew she failed it. And I called the teacher. I said, you can't show her test. You need to tell me what she got, because if she failed it, she will have a panic attack. And the teacher said, yeah, she failed it. I was like, okay, what'd she get? She got 33% on her chemistry test. And I said, no, you can never tell her that. I said, I'm pulling her from the class. It's not going to happen. You shall never tell her what her mark was. Thank you. So she got 33%, and that was it. She just finished chemistry 30 with a 90% average. So I don't know what happened, but she's a bit of a smarty pants. Anyway. All right, so here's our card so far then. We've got the thanks stamped. When we open it, sending a big honkin' thanks. And then just for fun, I thought, well, these little guys are fun. And I really didn't think this was going to work out as well as it did, because I'm stamping when it's assembled, but it did work out. So I'm going to get these two guys who are fist bumping, which for these guys, it's goosebumps. Which I was like, what are these stamps? And then I think they're supposed to be goosebumps. I don't know where you're supposed to put them, but I'm like, well, they just look like boobs. Like, why do we have boobs? I don't know what that is. I think they're supposed to be, yeah, goosebumps. Anyway, this is not the best idea, ladies, because now your card is virtually done, and you're going to go ahead and try to stamp and hope you don't screw it up. However, that's the way I roll. I'm going to get their fists right on this fold, if all goes well. I'm going to try to make sure that I do it right. And no fear. Boom. Push, 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 and lift. Nailed it. God, I love it when it works. Okay, what else? Is that it? I think that's it for the stamping, maybe? What else we got? We got our thanks. Something big honkin'. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to just color. Look, we're done for the most part. Yes. Now, I do need another, frame. So let's see if we can do this one here. So again, we're going to go in with our 2 3/8 punch. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, it is cute. You know me, I struggle with the decorating, so I'm like, well, I know I can get the gadget working, but when it comes down to the decorating, I don't know how to decorate a goose card. So this is a little outside my comfort zone. I'm very good at copying other people's ideas. I'm not so good at coming up with my own. But this one I had to. I couldn't find any goose cards I liked, and I couldn't find any of these, what are these called? The peekaboo cards that were current, and I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Okay. Like that. Again, this just kind of hides the rough edges and makes it a little bit snazzier. Thanks, Luann. Okay. All right, I need a sip of water. Hang on. Hydrate. And that's okay, Crystal. Hey, Crystal, did you see my note? I got a whole bunch of stuff in my box for you. You know that, right? I got the paper share, the ribbon share, and your stamp set for being my stamping ambassador. So here's a little bit of fun thing. This is something fun I do with my team. I look for what I call a stamping ambassador. And every month, a different trailblazer is an ambassador. They pick out a stamp set that's valued at, I don't know, 20. How much was it? 30. I don't even know how much it was, you guys. $32 a stamp set. I buy the stamp set for them, and they make cards, and they post them every Wednesday of the month that they are the ambassador for, using just that stamp set. No dies. Okay, no worries, Crystal. No dies. Just the stamps, inks, and paper, keeping it simple, just to show the versatility of the stamp set, and for them to stretch themselves and to post so that we can all see. And yeah, so Crystal is our ambassador for next month. So I bought her a stamp set. and she will be creating with it. All right, let's finish this off and carry on our way. So I actually used some retired, I know, shocking. Most demonstrators don't use the retiring stuff. I do, because dagnabbit, I retired. Where did they go? I retired stuff too that I'd like to use. Somewhere in here, I've got. Oh, they're hiding under here. These retired. Lord, oh, it's all falling apart. Embellishments. I don't know where. Here they. I don't know. Look, they're all over my finger now. What the heck? Hang on. These, I don't even know what they were from, what they're called, because they're not attached to anything anymore. But I had these left over from last round. There were some gold ones and some green ones and whatever color this is. So I'm using them because I have them and I paid money for them. So let's use them. Darn it. And the color kind of matches. All right. You're not talented. Kathy, you take that back. I don't think I'm talented. I can copy other people's work really well, honestly. Okay, so now we're just coloring. Is that the deal? Yeah, we're just coloring. Okay, so this guy, I ended up doing him all gray. Yeah, he shows through on the back of my card. I don't care, whatever. So I'm going to open up everything here. When it comes to coloring with your blends, it can and will seep through your paper. So I'm just going to color him all gray because I like to color. I had just highlighted him, her, and then I got carried away and ended up coloring the whole thing. So we're going to color the gray goose. Okay. It really is an easy mechanism. You just have to watch my video 3 or 4 times. Here, while you're watching me color, here are the dimensions. If you can read my chicken scratch or my goose scratch. 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 2 3/4. Screenshot that. That's for the front. The back is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, score at 5 1/2. And the inside is 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, score at 4 1/4. I'm going in with my Calypso. I don't know if a goose's beak is orangish, but mine is. And I'm going in just with the marker because it's not going to bleed outside the lines, like for his feet. And this is not going to bleed. Okay, so then while I'm here, let's do the same. This guy's beak here. And these guys. So I'm very happy to say now that I've used this stamp set. I need to use all these as soon as I can because the next batch I'm going to be ordering in August from the mini catalog. And then these ones will just sit. I know how this works. It's not my first rodeo. Tracy and I have already started talking about the extravaganza in October. This card is I call it a peekaboo card, Mary. So if you research peekaboo cards, you might be able to find some in there. Yeah, the extravaganza that we're doing in October, we've already started talking. We're going to be doing an in-person. And then we're also going to have the option of, we're not going to do the same virtual extravaganza like we did last time. We will have the option, though, of a kit, like an extravaganza in the mail. And there will be printed instructions. We just found it didn't work as well to do a live event. But there'll be printouts. It'll be easy enough to figure out the pieces. So it's just a class in a box with all the pieces that we're doing at the live extravaganza. And anyway, so we're going to prep. I think we're deciding on about 56 pieces. And then when they're gone, they're gone. So if 56 people come in person, great. If 40 come in person, then we'll have 16 kits to go. We're still trying to figure it out, but there's just so much going on right now. Tonight, Tracy's son has his grade 9 farewell. Grad is today and tomorrow for grade 9. June is always so busy. Okay, so let's just finish finish these little geese. I have, you know what? I've only walked the dog a handful of times in the last month, and just the last couple days, just to just pass the mailbox until he does his business, and then I come home. So I haven't been down to the water, to the lake around here to see all the geese and the ducks. I haven't seen any, so I've been holed up. Okay, so I'm just gonna color this part in case somebody peeks under. Okay, so that's that and those. Okay, and then, oh, I'm gonna ground these guys. You don't ever want images just floating. Just take your blend and just put a little squiggle under their feet for a little shadowing to ground them. And then I just went in with my daffodil. Actually, these are our old blendabilities. My light Daffodil Delight died, but I found my old blendabilities. So that's what I'm using here. Now, I'm trying not to cross over the words, because you know why. It'll bleed. So I'm just going to take an extra minute to go around the letters. Might bleed a little, but I don't want to. I don't want it to bleed more than it has to. And it's still a fairly sharp tip, so it's not too hard. I would love for you guys to try this with, like, say, the baby, the Little Dreamers set. I might try it with that one because I do think I want to do this in the class with Little Dreamers. That'll be a fun one to prep. Okay, there we have it. We're done, you guys. That's it. That's all. Where's the lid? Where's the lid? Hi, Christine. Welcome. All right. Well, you're here for the grand reveal then, Christine. So here we go. I fold it all up. So here we go. Thanks. Sending a big honkin' thanks. Look at that. And it's only 7:47. You know what else I want to do? Because I can. Because we now have still 13 minutes. This is what I was wanting to do originally. And I thought, well, that's not going to take very long. I want to try something here. Look at this stamp set. Scenic Wonders. I want to use this. Oh, there was something else I was going to do tonight. You want to see what I was going to do tonight? This took me a couple hours of playing. Where did it go? Now I just have to rummage through the trash on my floor. Maybe it's not here. Where did it go? Oh, here's a little show and tell. This is a very simple card that I did. Huh. No, don't know where to put it. It was going to be a shaker card. It was very complicated. There it is. This is what we're going to do tonight. But then I stamped this and I didn't like it, so we moved on. So this try to wrap your head around this. So this is die cut out, and then there's a circle die cut out behind it, but this isn't die cut. I thought, I lost the will on that one. Anyway, so we're not doing that. But I looked at this one, I went, oh, what is this? 5 1/4 by 4. Look at this. This is so pretty. I want to try this. Is this a distinctive stamp? What is this called? Is it called distinctive? I don't know if it is. Anyway, I'm going to try something here. Does this fit here? Yes. And I think let's try this in, what color should I try this in? Pebbled Path. Yes, Nancy, you're too busy. Yes. You schooling people. 4 1/4. No, that's not right. This needs to be 4. I knew this looked wrong. So let's make this 4 by 5 1/4. By 5 1/4. Okay. Do I want Pebbled Path for this, or do I want Mousy Meadow? What color do I want this on? Ooh, Little Dreamers. It's a good one. Kathy, I'm running a class with that if you want to take it in the class. Essentially, the class is free if you get the bundle through me. Just a thought. That's July 14th, I believe, is when I'm having that one. No, I lied. August 4th. Pardon me. $80, $90 long distance. Okay, what color? What color? Back to pebbled. Okay, Jennifer says pebbled. Okay, pebbled, pebbled, pebbled. So that'd be nice and mossy too. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to turn it over because what's going on here? Gungees on here. What is this? Off with you. Be gone. Because it's such a large stamp, I'm going to do it this way. Ooh, it's still pretty juicy. Okay, we're going to see how this looks. Okay. Yes, would be great for a slimline. Yeah. Okay, this one, this piece is too big. Nope. Gonna cut this down a bit. Too big. And I like smaller ones anyway. I'm gonna go 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I have a vision. Yes. Oh, yes. There are a few ways we could play this. Oh, yeah. See, now that just stops. I'm going to go a little bit smaller then. I'm going to go, because you can, yeah, I know what I mean. I'm going to go 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So do you remember when we had the celebrations card, the celebration sets that was a bunch of scenery? I did something similar. And what we could do for that is no, okay, forget that. We still don't have any good ovals in here, hey? I could do, what we got here? I want an oval. You know what? I'm doing an oval. You can't stop me. I'm getting out my old ovals just because this was my vision. Again, you got old retired stuff, you can still use it. So these are the old layering ovals. And I want one. Oh, sorry. Tickly nose. Maybe this one. This one. Are these the same size? Essentially. Could go a little bit smaller. I could do layering. Let's try this and just see. Because the clock is ticking now. Let's see. All right. Where's my opening? Here we go. Actually, and then we've got these scalloped ones. I could do that. Anybody know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing, don't you? Bigger. I need bigger. So now I'm just teasing you, but you can't get these dies anymore. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. This is exactly why I bought this set. Because I love it. Now, then I'm also going to get, well, that's not centered at all, but okay. Whoa, look, it was meant to be. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to save paper here. Because we're not made of money, right? Maybe we are. I don't know. I can't believe that layer's the right exact size. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Still 6 minutes. I also got this set because I think the bear would look really nice on it. That This is not quite the right size. What is this? 5. That's why it should be 3 3/4. So 3 1/2 by, must be 4 1/4. I could tell. Things aren't quite right. Yeah, I think the bear would look really nice on this. Okay, so I'm covering up the hole that I just cut. Oh, that's a bit big. Nerds. Oh well. Ideally I don't want the this one for better. I don't want the layer quite that wide. Let's see if I got a different one here that's a little bit bigger. That one's going to be... I wonder if this one would work. Hang on. Don't go away. Hang on. Let's try this again. 756. Let's see if this is going to be too big. I just didn't want the border quite that big, but anyway. That might be too small. No! That works better, I think. Hey? How's that? It wasn't quite the same because this flower. Anyway, close enough. I could pop that up on dimensionals, but my sizing is off a bit. It's okay, given that I'm crafting on the fly here. Go like that. So glad you're in this world with me. Yeah, Janice, I am. I'm still coughing, but I feel much, much better. Thank you. Craig does not, and he is grumpy as all get out. He's not a happy man. If you think I don't sit still, he's the reason I don't sit still. He has trained me. Okay, it's a little dangerous, but let's do it anyway. Okay. Let's hope that's straight. My sticker is crooked. Ah, close enough. Look how quick and easy that card is. Look. And then I can pop that up on dimensionals. It's certainly not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that's okay. Yeah. The backside that nobody is going to see. Snazz it up with some ribbon. I like this stamp set for quick and easy. Is that remote? There we go. 7:58. I still have 2 minutes to spare. Huh? Doesn't that look neat? I love it. And you can do that with any, like you could do circles, you can do them offset, you could do it with squares, you could do it, like you could cut, like use stuff that we have. I could have used this guy, I guess. That would have been fun. I like the layer with the layer on top, but you don't have to. You can just pop it up. These other scenes here, I did think that this bear, okay, he might be crazy big, but this bear maybe in the foreground, like if we had, hang on, I got 2 minutes. It's my show. Well, I have 1 minute. Let's just pretend this is our layer. And if I had this stamp, let's peel this one off. I need the block. Hang on. Let's just try this out. Hang on. We can do this. Yeah, right, Carol? I haven't been very good with those like scene builder ones, like the waterfront and all that. I didn't do well with those at all. However, if we did something like this in the background, and then if I did this bear, it's 8 o'clock. Hurry up, Tamara. Like, sure, like I sit here for how many hours? Look at this cute card. If I had the bear, and if I had a block, it was big enough, which I don't, do the bear, and if I cut out the bear, I think it would look like the bear was in the foreground. Oh, that is really super juicy. And watch me cut out a bear? You know you do. Let's just rough cut it, just to see if this is going to work out. Let's see if the dimensions are right. Let's just pretend that he's cut it proper. Oh, yeah, see? You could do that, and then it would look, you could have the scenery in the background. Yeah, I think that would work. Looks like, okay, if it was a little bit lower or higher, I think that would work. I think you could do it. Anyway, how fun is that? I wanted to try that. Coolio. That's it. It's 8:01. Look at that. So, yes, if you want to try a peekaboo card, here's a good one to case. Copy and share everything. Send it a big honkin' thanks. Sure. Thanks for hanging out with me. Now, don't forget, next Tuesday, be right here on Tamara's Paper Trail for my BOGO sale. It's primarily stamps and bundles. I'm not going to get into the paper and all the little fiddly-biddly bits. It's going to be the bigger ticket items. You place an order through my store, you get my stuff for free, and I'll mail it to you. For the first $10, the shipping is on me. So pop in. Hopefully there's some treasures you want. I've got some old stuff, like say some old vintage stuff that I'm parting with, and maybe some, I don't know, maybe I'll go through and get rid of some of my background stamps. Christmas, I can't. Anyway, see what I come up with next Tuesday and Wednesday. For those of you who are demonstrators, if you're in Tamara's Paper Works demonstrator group, on Wednesday, we're doing Tamara Talks branding with my friend Andrea. So we're going to go live Wednesday at 6:30 Mountain Time. So excellent. Thanks for popping in, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you guys really soon. Have a great weekend. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll be here for my coffee break at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. So I'll see some of you tomorrow morning then. Good night.